day, eve now, everybody, 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 have you heard? I've got the word. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Oh, my goodness. A lot of territory to cover too now, but we have some fun stuff. We have some fun stories, and we have a lot of good information to share. Lots of shit to share. So sprinkle that shit everywhere. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes, I said that we would be to now. And you know, what is to now? What is now? The time is always now. So are we ever really late? No, I don't think so. Right on time. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So it is to now. We've had an eventful day. It was a really fun day. Have had lots of fun in the neighborhood, boating with my friends and my amazing guy friend, I guess. He's 15 years old, and oh my goodness, wait till you see these adorable pictures. Oh my goodness, love this family. So anyway, let's get our invites on tonight. This eve now's topic is ego self. A story about it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So some people say, hey, well, I beg to differ, because I believe it's not what you hear, it's how you hear it. I have a story for that. And I also have a story for the kiddos in the house. I know it might be a little bit late in the eve now. However, you can watch it the following now and enjoy Lurkey the Turkey with his ego self. And ego self is not always what you may think it is, okay? So we are going to discuss about ego self and getting out of ego self and what that entails, what that does actually mean, okay? And also we're going to discuss about some knockdown dragouts that I had with an awesome friend of mine over the past several years. Oh my goodness, we literally knock them down, beat them up, yelling matches, you name it. This guy and I had it going on. Oh my goodness. But you know what? I'm going to tell you a story about healthy arguments. Some people think that if you have arguments, oh, lo and behold, that's the end of the world. Holy guacamole. Oh, I'm not your friend anymore. I'm not your spouse anymore. I'm going to go this way because we had an argument. And it really doesn't have to be that way if you know how to argue with intellectual, with integrity, if you will, with love. If you know how to argue with love, in love, and be love, then arguments are absolutely amazing because you learn something every day. Yay! And more about that in just a moment. So let's get our invites on and everybody come to the house. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so let me know what you all did over this amazing, fun weekend. What were your insights for this eve now, or this week now, this weekend, if you will? Let me know what you did to lift and raise your vibrations. Inquiring minds do want to know. So let's invite our families, our friends, our acquaintances, whoever it may be, invite them now. Absolutely. And I do realize that some of our younger crew is definitely probably fast asleep. That is okay. Mothers, fathers, get them on here for the next eve now so that they can hear about Lurkey the Turkey. How cool will that be? I've got an amazing, very short 3-minute story to share with you all. But I do want to hear from you all. I know it's a little bit late in the eve now, but that is okay because it is great. Every day, every evening is a great and awesome day to have a great day, hey? I believe so. Yeah, it was a beautiful day in the Ozarks. What was your weather like where you are in America? I know it's always wonderful Wonderland and Fiji Wonderland, and oh, just counting down the next few weeks until I am home. Sweet Savu, Savu home. I miss you all. Oh, my brothers and my sisters and my family, the Villy, the Tigers. I am so excited to see you all. Super excited to get these parties started, to get our retreats over there. By the way, if you have not signed up, if you have not reserved your sacred space for our amazing, once in a lifetime, earth-shattering, mind-changing, unique health retreats of a lifetime, if you have not reserved your sacred space, I encourage you to do so now. Because the time is now, obviously, but because we have only allotted 10 spaces per each retreat. That's July, August, and November. We've only allotted 10 guests to join us on our amazing full-fledged 10-day retreat. That's kind of bugging me. On our full-fledged 10-day retreat. So it's definitely, we have a few sacred spaces already taken. So if you want to embark on an opportunity of a lifetime to completely sculpt your body, mind, heart, and soul, definitely reserve your sacred spot now because slots are filling up. Like I said, there will be 10 guests allotted for each retreat for this year of 2019. We've got the most amazing coaches around the world. And in fact, I just got off the phone with another person, an amazing lady in Auckland, New Zealand, that is going to be one of our coaches. Amazing lady doing mosaic and really deep meditation and penetration with mosaic art. Then we have someone from Canada. I just got off the phone yesterday now with a gentleman from Australia that is going to teach us about soul braiding. That's even a new one for me. So I am super excited to take his classes before the retreat. Oh my goodness. So we have Australia represented. We have New Zealand represented. We have Canada represented. Of course, America represented. Then we have a couple of health coaches from Fiji represented. How amazing is that? Oh my goodness. The chance of a lifetime, an opportunity of a lifetime, where definitely these retreats are not for the timid. Reason being is if you want to go to a vacation place and have a 5-star resort. Hello, Natasha. Blessings, prayers, hugs of love to you. Everybody send out lots of love, light, and energy to our friend Natasha Bowen. I don't really know anything that's going on. I just know that they have requested prayers, her and her husband. So please send out prayers to Danny and Natasha. They are in definite need of your prayers, love, light, and healing energy to raise their vibrations and anything else that might be going on. So everybody take a moment of silence to say your I do's to Natasha, please. But anywho, my point in telling you, these retreats, they're all inclusive. Oh my goodness, what you get, the education that you get, the information that you get from these retreats and from our amazing coaches, health coaches, fitness trainers, Reiki masters, massage therapists, everything that you get with these retreats is priceless. Plus you get room and board, you get 3 full meals a day, plus 2, maybe 3 snacks every single day while you're over there. You get 2 organic restaurants to enjoy fine dining at. You get to do excursions, snorkeling, diving, fishing, steam sauna, mud baths, mineral baths, deep diving, you name it, we are going to do it. Rainforest walking, going down the natural water slides, boat riding. Oh my goodness. And to see the amazing wonders of Wonderland, you just absolutely cannot put a price tag on your investment. So please, if you have not reserved your sacred space, I'm not even kidding. I think there's only 7 spaces left for August, 8 spaces left for July. There are 6 spaces left for November. So definitely you want to embark on this opportunity of a lifetime. So go to, let's write it here, Fuel. Let's do the web link, fuelforthebody.net. I'll give you the direct web link now. Of course, everything wants to be slow because that's just the way it is. Everybody enjoying your Amazing organic drinks. Okay, here is where you can reserve your sacred spot right here and check up on them if you will, or check out our amazing lineup of coaches. You definitely want to do that. Okay, so let's get our invites going on, and let's see. I know it's a little bit late. Hello, Helen. How are you doing? Oh my goodness, how is everybody doing? Let me know. Inquiring minds do want to hear from you. Abso-flippin'-lutely. I want to know what's been going on in your neck of the woods and what you have been doing to raise your vibrations. And I'm also going to be discussing with you this evening now about a guy. Oh, I told you about a guy that we had a knockdown drag out with. Oh, I'm going to read you Lurkey the Turkey. Lurkey the Turkey. This is going to be such a fun-filled evening now. Absolutely. Okay, so let's get this party started, and we'll have more about our amazing Fijian retreats. Hussein, it's so good to see you, my friend. How are you doing in Travel Wonderland over there? Okay, everybody know what time it is? What time is it? It is now time, and that means we are what? We're zippy, 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 zappy, 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 H-A-P-P-Y. We're happy, woohoo! I'm happy, you're happy, we're all happy because we're zippy, 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 zappy, 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 H-A-P-P-Y. We're happy, whoop, whoop, and again, we're zippy, 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 zappy, 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 H-A-P-P-Y. We're happy, woohoo! I'm happy, you're happy, we're all happy because every little cell in our body's happy, every little cell in our body's well, every little cell in your body's healthy, every little cell in your body's well. You feel so good, I feel so well, because every little cell in our body's well. Yay! Because why? Happy cells make healthy, harmonious cells. Yay! Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yes, they do. It has been proven. The happier you are, the healthier you are. Okay, so our first information, I know the kiddos are going to want to get straight to it. So let's read the story that my friend, oh my goodness, let me just let you all know that in Breath of Green, we had a kids corner where we had eco-friendly crayons, eco-friendly coloring books, eco-friendly art pads, eco-friendly paint, eco-friendly chalk and chalkboard, everything. We had all kinds of things for kids, right? And so I was always looking for an author to come in to read children's books or to do book signings, and to do both, read children's books and do book signings, and to have children's books there to encourage children and to teach them the values of life, and to teach them what, you know, a lot of people may not, I mean, I don't want to say a lot of people, but me being a foster care parent and knowing what goes on in the world, and children that are neglected, that do not have their mother and father, or do not have a good mother or father figure in their life, they're not always taught good ethics and morals and what things should be. So my friend, I finally found her. I mean, I've known my friend for a long time, but she kept it secret. She never told me that she was a children's book author, although she does a lot of things for the school. She writes literature, but she didn't tell me that she was doing children's books too. And they, you know, she just kind of sat back on them for several years. But never fear, Gypsy is here. Yes, I am. So I am super excited that when we come out of hibernation, that, oh my goodness, we are going to have the best children's corner ever, because we are going to have our very own Lisa King in the house right here in the Ozarks to present her amazing books to the children. And we are going to carry her line of ethical, amazing encouragement books for the children. How awesome is that? Hi, Sai! She is from Fiji Wonderland. It is so good to see you. Very good to see you on here. Absolutely. Okay, do I have Jewel? Do I have Carol? Who do I have on here? Let me know. Oh, everybody, by the way, my amazing friend's birthday, Jewel. Let's all sing happy birthday, Happy naked day to you, Jewel. It's your birthday. It's your naked birthday. Get your birthday suit on. It's your birthday. And I love you because, oh, my thing just came unplugged, but let's just plug it back in because I got too excited. Jewel Kessler, it is her birthday. Happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Jewel. Happy birthday to you. Yay! Happy birthday, Jewel, because you are so happy. Jewel is my amazing, comforting angel. So, mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you so much, Jewel, because you are just an amazing pie in the sky. So everybody hear it for my friend Jewel. Yes! Yay! Awesome. Okay, so who else do we have joining us in the house? Jewel, there she is. Hi, did you like my song for you? You survived yesterday. Yay, Jewel. Well, you know what? That's okay. We will meet again, my friend. So go back and rewind it just a little bit if you just now came on, because we just sang you the happiest birthday song ever because it's your birthday and I love you. You're awesome and amazing. Anyway, there you go. That's me for now, and I'm gotta go to jet because I'm headed to American Idol, baby. American Idol. Yeah, okay, whatever. Dreams, dreams, dreams. Lots of dreams. Okay, so let me read you Turkey the Lurkey. I mean, Lurkey the Turkey. Lurkey is his name. Let's give it up to my friend Lisa King. Lisa is in the house. Here we go. Lisa, get on here so that we can acknowledge your book. We have lots of fun stuff to share this evening now. Everybody will definitely want to take note. These are a lot of thoughts to ponder. So you definitely, even if I have to say so myself, because, yep, I know what I'm talking about here. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, my thing just got stuck. I'm stuck. My thing is stuck. Okay, let's see. Jewel, yay! Okay, all right, so let's read Turkey the Lurkey. Like, this is like the best children's book ever. Thank you so much, my friend Lisa King. Well, if I can get it to open, that would be the next question. Okay, Lurkey the Turkey was special, it's true. His feathers were red, yellow, and blue. His feathers were more magnificent than others, unlike any of his sisters or brothers. Lurkey was his name. Oh, I just went down too far. But Lurkey was as proud as a turkey could be. He boasted and he bragged and yelled, "Look at me, look at me, look at me." He bragged, "Don't you wish you had beautiful feathers like mine? Your feathers are brown, not nearly as fine." Oh, I feel so good about myself. He gobbled and he waddled and he strutted his stuff until his brothers and sisters had had quite enough. They gathered in the meadow one night and they pondered, what shall we do with our brother Lurkey? We will teach Lurkey a lesson. We'll give him a fright. Oh boy. I wish I could show you all the pictures. I'll get this printed out soon. They found some brown paint in Farmer Bob's shed. Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll paint Lurkey's feathers while he is in bed. And so the waiting began. They waited and they waited until Lurkey was fast asleep. Then they snuck up behind him without making a peep. They carefully painted each tail feather they found. Then they all snuck away without making a sound. Ooh, they have some brown paint and some tan paint. Oh, cock-a-doodle-doo, as the sun came up. When Lurkey woke up, his tail feathers were brown. The smile on his face turned into a frown. Then big tears welled up in his eyes, and the sad little turkey then started to cry. Oh, boo! He was just crying and crying because his tail feathers were brown. He was no longer beautiful and proud. Then all of a sudden, just as he feared, his brothers and sisters all laughed and they sneered. You're no longer the most beautiful bird, it is true. They're gone, your feathers of red, yellow, and blue. Now, how do you feel? You're just like us. You can no longer make such a big fuss. You have been bragging and acting so bad. Seeing your brown tail feathers makes us very glad. He was so sad, Mr. Lurkey the Turkey. Lurkey watched as his family smirked, and he suddenly realized, I've been a real jerk. I'm sorry I hurt you and made you so mad. Please forgive me for acting so bad. Please. He really felt bad for all that he had done. The turkeys forgave him for being so vain. Then the sky grew dark and it started to rain. The rain washed away all the brown paint away. Lurkey saw his beautiful feathers and shouted, hooray! From that day on, the turkeys were nice to one another, and Lurkey didn't think he was better than his brothers. The moral of that story, boys and girls, is to not be too proud of what you have around. Okay, so that was for our little darlings. Now let me just tell you another version for the adults. Our ego self doesn't always mean that we are proud or that we think that we are better than someone else or that we are arrogant. Some people tend to get ego self mixed up with arrogant self and rude self and whatever self. Now, it is a fine line. You could very well be that. However, that's not always the case. Because your ego self, and you've heard me talk about ego self many times, and you know, you hear me talking about I am in the fifth dimension, then I'm in the fourth dimension, and I fall flat on my face with my ego self in the third dimension. What that is simply talking about is we have an ego self and we have a universal God self, okay? So the God factor is what keeps us alive and vibrant and positive and happy. We can all have that God factor, and most of us do. I do have that God factor. But it doesn't mean that we are not going to get ensnared by the dark side right over there. And it doesn't mean that we close our eyes. We've gone through that story many times. But it simply means that our ego self will get in the way. It doesn't necessarily mean that we are proud or that we are better than anyone else. But like when I talk about my ego self and I fall flat to the third dimension on my face and sometimes flat on my ass and I have to look up, like, oh, wow, really? What I am simply meaning is that my ego self is taking over, meaning I am taking things personally. I am getting my feelings hurt. I am wanting to retaliate. I am wanting to defend myself. I am wanting to have an argument with something that is obsolete, because when you have arguments with people in the third dimension, it's really obsolete, because the beings in the third dimension that you want to be arguing with, they totally are incoherent. They are totally indoctrinated in the 3D world with toxic food, with toxic people, with toxic environment that they're in. So when we get to that level that we think we want to argue with the beings in the third dimension, you're going to lose. I'm sorry, not sorry, but you are going to lose. You're going to fall flat on your face like I have done. Trust me, listen to your teacher because I have been there. I have done that. And, you know, as much as I teach on here, and I teach the seminars, and I express to everyone about raising your vibrations. I am telling this to you because I'm going through the journey. I'm walking right through the fire. I'm walking right through my ego self, and I am doing the actions. Trust me, it doesn't work. You're not going to win that battle, because the battle on this plane that we're on right now is ruled by the dark side. And even those of you who are Christian and you read the Bible, hey, I like the Bible. It has great inspiration. I love the book of Psalms. I love the book of Job. I love the book of Titus. I love the book of Jonah. The book of Jonah, the book of Esther, that's what I mean. I love the story of Jonah. I love the book of Esther. I like a lot of them because they have great inspiration. However, when the people want to leave a lot of things out of the Bible, and that means that this is a spiritual world and that Satan is the ruler. The dark side are all the rulers of this plane that we live on this surface that we live on now, in the here and now. They are the rulers of this surface of the earth, okay? Because God plainly points that out. And even if you don't read the Bible, it's obvious to see who are the rulers of this complete earth, not of the universe, but of this complete earth. So anyway, with that being said, trust me, you're not going to win that battle. I just had the battle over the past 10 days with 2 different people in my life. And especially when they're drug infested and they fall back down and they get on drugs again. By the way, P.S. FYI, I'm not using marijuana as a drug. I'm not using CBD oil as a drug. No, forget that. Those are not drugs. They're natural herbs. Okay. Yes, even though heroin is natural, yeah, it's very dangerous because of the way they process it. Cocaine could be very good if you use the coca leaves. However, they are lacing cocaine with boric acid and baking soda, which makes it very, very toxic, and it explodes like a volcano in your body, and it just brings out the demonic beings in you. So the encounters that I've had, oh my goodness, it's been crazy. So you're not going to win, even if they're not on drugs. Whenever you are arguing with the third dimension here, you're not going to win. So in order to get out of ego self, we must just take deep breaths. And I failed to do that over the past 10 days. I've done that over the past 5 days, but prior to, I was not breathing before I was reacting. I was only reacting. And I was reacting because, again, my foster care parent instincts kicked in, and I thought I had healed these people, these beings, these beautiful souls. They are absolutely amazing. I have nothing whatsoever bad to say about either one of them. They are totally awesome. But I had thought that, you know, they knew, and therefore my foster care instincts was like, well, okay, then I've got to go and save you, and I've got to go and fix you. Therefore, all of my vibrations left my body, and I was stuck in the here and now, which was on this plane of this flat surface that we're on in the 3D world. And I fell again because I wanted so bad to defend myself and to wonder, why in the Hades did you say something like that? Why did you just regurgitate that on me? Why did you just do that? Why did you make that decision? You know, it's like, why did you do this for? I didn't do anything, blah, blah, blah. So my point is that I fell flat to the ego self, and I let my ego self take control instead of my higher God soul vibrational self. I'm learning. Life is a journey. Life is a lesson. It's full of puzzles. It's full of obstacles. It's full of different modalities to help you to learn and continue to step up the plate and continue to raise your vibrations. Remember what I said in the last video? How many times did Buddha, did Gandhi, did Jesus, did the monks, how many times did any of those great philosophers, great beings on this planet, how many times did they go into deep meditation, into deep prayer? We don't know, because they didn't give us a number. They went there a lot, every single day. Sometimes, you know, such as Jesus, obviously, you were Jesus in the Bible, 40 days, hello, Garden of Gethsemane, and different prayers and different things that he did and different times that he fasted. You know, there is no counting of Buddha or monks or Gandhi. So, you know, my point of saying that is the greatest of philosophers, the greatest of prophets, the greatest of teachers always have to be diligently in prayer, in meditation. Oh, I mean, I am in no way at all, please don't get your panties in a wad, because I am not putting myself on Jesus level or Gandhi or Buddha or any of that. I'm just saying it is okay. We're going to fall. Because if even those great teachers and philosophers were always struggling and always having to be in prayer, what makes you think that we are any better, that we can just, oh, stay right up here in this fifth dimension? We're human, and that's what's going to happen. But people on the outside, they'll look in and they will accuse us of being hateful, of being angry, of being malicious, of being bashing, and that's what I was accused of. And it's like totally not like that at all, because they're on the third dimension as well. You have to understand, when they accuse you of this, got to remove yourself from the ego self. Leave the ego self right here and get your God self and your soul self up on this other vibration. Believe me, I've had about 5 days alone. I've gone out with my friends for the past few days, but I've had about 5 solid days alone time. Wow. Very interesting. I thought I learned a whole, and I learned a lot the last time around, but you know, I've learned an astronomical amount of information. Did you like that meme that I posted? I like to use my own memes because I make up my own quotes, and my other half had made up his own quotes as well. So everybody, if you see our quotes, please share them around the world, if you will. But sometimes I like to use other people's quotes. But remember that tiger that I posted? If I am not the same person that I was a year ago or even 4 months ago, do not discredit that, because I am on my game and my growth factor is strong. So I am stronger than ever. I am not the same that I was a year ago, not even 3 months ago. There you go. Anyway, so now you know. That's a little story about ego self. So take it from us, kids. Lurkey the Turkey. And that also adheres to you as well, adults. Okay? All right, so moving right along. Okay, before we get to our next story, which is, a lot of people will say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And that phrase has been stated to me time and time and time again. And I would sit there and I would think, okay, if I was yelling at you, or if I was being very hateful to you, then I could understand that statement, like, what are you doing that for? How dare you? Are you ignorant? Are you stupid? Or why did you do that? Or where are you going? Well, then, yeah, that's how you say it. And that's definitely a factor. So it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Because I could say, hey, what are you doing? Or why did you do that? Or where did you go? Or what are you doing that for? You know, it's different. I get it. There are different modalities. We're going to get into that discussion, because I beg to differ. It's not what you hear, how you hear it. And I have a good story about that, okay? But in the meantime, oh my goodness, let's give cheers to my friend Eric Plott, the Moringa King himself. Eric Plott with Plott Palm Trees. Eric, oh my goodness. Let me tell you all, this goes right into my story of, it's not what you hear, it's how you hear it. Eric Plott and I have been friends for, how long have we been friends for, Eric? 8, 9, since 2009? 2000, maybe it was 2010. Anyway, we've been friends for a very long time. And it's so funny. Oh my goodness, I have to tell you this story. We used to have knockdown dragouts. We used to point our finger at each other. We used to raise our voice at each other. We used to, I'm going to tell you, blah, 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 blah. And we would just go like a punching bag nonstop, like literally every week. We would just go at it at each other, okay? And before I give you the good news, when I first met him, he was a Harvard graduate and a Cambridge graduate. He does research. He does a lot of research at Harvard. He does a lot of plant-based things at Cambridge. So Cambridge University and Harvard, you know, they're very prestigious. And Eric, he was just freshly out of college. He was just out of high school, what, in 2007 or something? And but he is so intelligent. Oh my God, Eric, yes. Despite the fights that we had, he is so intelligent. And I'll lead into that in a moment. Anyway, I was like, and after we started having some little discrepancies, I noticed and then he would even post that, I'm a Harvard University graduate. I went to Cambridge to do this. And I'm just like, okay, another one of those, hey. I'm like, I've got to bring this clown back down to town. I'm not going to have this. Like, seriously, Eric? Okay, pumpkin. Let's see. No. I just love messing with people, but I also do my research too. So when he said that, I was just like, fight's on. Fight is on. Oh, no bars held at all. So that was how I'm like, well, you know what? I'm over here doing my studies with Dr. Deb Clark right here in her offices in the White Peacock. And I'm also a patient expert with Dr. Ray. We would just go at it back and forth. And I'm like, okay, so what? Harvard, my degree is in fashion merchandising. Whoop, whoop. That got me real far, hey? Yay. Anyway, my point is that's the kind of relationship that we had, and that's how I knew him. As the years evolved, I mean, we were still fighting, but you know what the beauty of that was, everyone? Oh my goodness. Some people think that arguments, you have to be just like, you don't have to like each other anymore, and that you just leave, and I'm never talking to you again. You have a good life. You do this, you do that. But you know what? Whenever you have love in your heart and you do things in the kindness and your love and you learn how to take that ego out. Now, with Eric and I, we had a lot of ego going on because we just let our ego get the better of us. I'm like, yeah, he's a Harvard University graduate. Okay, whatever. And he'd be like, oh, she's just an organic guru. She thinks she knows everything. But my point is, no matter what we were saying to each other, we still had compassion. We still had love in our hearts. We still had a soul. And we still had sense enough to know that we were educating one another and that no matter what, we knew that we were still going to talk to each other. And sure enough, we would get back on the internet and he would be telling me he's sorry. I would be telling him, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh God, Eric, I said some things out of adrenaline. I was getting ahead of myself and I understand what you're saying. And he would be like, hey, Gypsy, you know what? It's all right. I was getting ahead of myself. I always like to boost my ego because I'm a Harvard graduate. So the point was, he would apologize to me. I would apologize to him. He'd be like, but I still love you. And I'd be like, likewise, I still love you too. It's so awesome. Next week, bam, we would be right back at it again. And he was one of those vegans, right? Hey, I'm totally 95% vegan, as you all know. But he was one of those cultish vegans, right? And we would just go at it 90 to nothing. But to Eric's credit, he is definitely, he was mellowed out on his cultish ways of veganism. He's still vegan, definitely. He's still vegan. I definitely applaud him for that. He's definitely raw food. He does some cooked food, don't you, Eric? But he's definitely organic. Eric is a truth warrior. He's one of our rainbow warriors. And his business is Moringa King, the Plott palm trees with moringa. You see me posting a lot about moringa. And they are one of the first companies also that was pure integrity verified. Whoop, whoop. Everybody give it for Eric with Moringa King, the pure integrity verified seal of approval. So thank you, Eric, for getting that. Awesome. So the moral of that story is that all arguments do not have to end in destruction. You can have healthy, constructive criticism and awesome arguments when you really have true, pure love in your heart. And if you really love the beings around you, you love your friendship, you value your friendship, that's when you really can have justifiable, awesome arguments and you can still come back to the table and love one another. And that is the beauty of taking ego self out of the equation. It may be there for a moment, but when you step back and you look, it's like, well, maybe I should not have said it that way. Maybe I should have presented it a different way. And maybe I shouldn't have called Eric an egotistical Harvard maniac, you know, back in my younger days. But anyway, the point is we had very healthy, good, constructive criticism, bashing arguments. But we're still here today, and we are the most amazing friends. He and Rhonda and I, his amazing other half, Rhonda, I love you too. You all are amazing. I think we broke the world record. Oh my goodness. Let me know if we have not broke the world record. It was literally 8 hours and 5 minutes. I look back on the time, Eric, we were on the phone. Eric, Rhonda, and I were on the phone for 8 hours and 45 minutes. Who does that? Because we had so much goodness to talk about, and we had so much planning to do, and we had so much time to make up. Okay, so anyway, we broke the world record. So Rhonda, Eric, you all are amazing. Truth warriors, rainbow warriors. Yes! Hashtag. Woo, was that a lot to take in or what? Okay, so moving right along. A lot of people say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And remember, I just told you that somebody was always telling me that, and I appreciate them, and I understand them, and I would find myself looking and be like, but you misunderstood the way I heard it, the way I said it. Like, I didn't mean anything by it. Like, seriously? Like, I didn't mean anything by it. You're not listening to what I'm saying. Like I said, I can understand if you're yelling at someone, or if you're saying, what? Instead of, what, babe? Or what, son? Or what, daughter? Or what, whatever. I understand that if you're having, obviously some anger issues and you're saying it in a very rude and demeaning way. I totally get that. However, some people say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Let me read you a little story about it's how you really hear it. So this was a story that was presented to me on the best of times. This just fell in my lap because I was like, how am I ever going to present this kind of information? Okay, so one day, there was this girl. Her name was Missy. She sat in a room full of women. She was at this convention, or not at the convention. She was at this big, huge meeting, and she sat in a room full of women. Didn't really know why she was there, what was going on. I mean, she knew why she was there, but she was very intimidated. She waited for one of the other women to speak to her as she was just sitting there, wonder if anybody's going to speak to me. Well, they didn't. But plenty other people were talking to each other, but they seemed to smirk at her. So she thought. Well, she checked her skirt, she shifted her legs, and she heard in the background, why are you here? She heard a different girl say. She heard it one way. She heard it one way. Although she heard, why are you here? Maybe she heard, why are you here? Who knows how she heard it? But the lady asked, why are you here? Well, she heard it one way. So she didn't like how it was asked. Okay. For her, she figured that nobody wanted her there anyway. And that tone of voice was a sure sign of it. Well, by golly, she asked me why I was here, so nobody wants me here. I'm out of here. So she didn't even bother to answer. She just up and left as quickly as she could. She slipped into the restroom. She went into the privacy of the stall, I guess to cry. She wiped her eyes because she didn't felt like she was wanted or needed or anything, and people were just wondering why the heck she was there. And another lady, she was wondering why she didn't ever fit in. She was wondering why people didn't like her. She was wondering, what's wrong with me? Well, she heard two other ladies coming into the restroom, and they were talking like everybody else. And as she wiped her nose and her tears, she heard another lady say, well, I tried to meet the new gal. I asked her why she was here, hoping it was the reason I was here, Being newly divorced is hard, and I was hoping to make a friend, but she didn't answer me. Why are women so stuck up? Why is it so hard to make friends with other women? Oh boy. Well, Missy realized that she was the one that they were talking about. And she realized maybe she was needlessly suffering because of what she thought she heard. Whew, that's pretty deep, hey? This new awareness gave her new courage and friendships began to form. So how often do we misread the text, the look, the smirk, the rolling eyes, or even with that post that says LOL in big letters? Like, I get texts all the time and I'm always like, you don't know how to take it because you can't feel the emotion behind it. You don't know how to take an LOL. You don't know how to take, it's like until you have that communication skill, until you communicate, and until you listen very carefully as to what is being said. And that was, what was going on with my life. I was always accused of how I'm saying things, but they didn't stop and listen to what I was meaning. So how often is it that we misread that? And we as humans are prone, oh my goodness, how many of you are prone to causing much communication suffering? It's a communication sufferer because we don't think the best of each other. We want to think the worst before we know the best. I mean, that's just how it is. It's a huge issue in marriage and in families. We read faces, we read eyes, noses, ears, hands, arms, feet, and sounds before we will actually listen to the words. A lot of people hear, I hear you, but I'm not listening. Yeah, I heard what you said, but I wasn't listening. You can hear wah, 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 wah. But are you listening? No, you're just hearing, they don't like me. They don't want me around. She hurt my feelings. She said something I didn't like. She said it the wrong way. It's like, well, hell, what? You can't win for losing. Oh my God, right? So it's a huge issue in marriages and in families. So, and especially with teenagers. So today, like if you see your teenager say something, instead of thinking about their tone of voice in one way or another, think of them in the best way. They might have a tone of voice, but let's just think about what they're really meaning behind those words. Even if they meant it in the worst way, think of it in the best way. Got it? And when your spouse asks a question that sounds something like you don't want to hear, just imagine how much they love you and how much they adore you and how much you should listen differently. Reread the text, reread the comment, try to imagine what their heart was behind that text message or behind that comment or behind that LOL. Think about how you can think about what was said and what was portrayed differently. So refrain from letting your mind go away with just any old kind of thinking. Think always the best before you can think the worst. That way you won't have any more needless suffering. Makes sense? When we can do that, then we will save ourselves a lot of heartache, a lot of confusion. And when we say something or when people think that their feelings are hurt, it's very important that we sit back and we say, why did they say this? What was their meaning behind this? I know they love me, so let's see if we can work through this. Teenager, spouse, grandmother, parent, whatever. It's very important. Again, it's all about taking ego self out and putting your God of love factor on. Make sense? All right, well, I know it's late. Well, it's never late because it's always to now. But I know that you all are going to be watching this to now row. So I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. So thank you all so much for tuning in. You all are so amazing. Remember to sign up for reserve your sacred space at the Art of Health Restoration on feelforthebody.net. I just posted that link in here. And take advantage of our amazing coaching, our amazing wonders of the world with the spiritual world over in Fiji Wonderland, that these spirits will literally teach you how to be one with the earth, and your complete life will forever be changed, that you will be embedded in your heart and soul and in your brain, so you can pass it on for generations to come. So this is not your typical retreat that you will go and just listen in a classroom of all these speakers. Yeah, I hear ya. We're doing hands-on training. Hands-on, mind on, heart on, and soul on training. So definitely, if you know someone that needs this amazing getaway retreat for 10 full solid days in Fiji Wonderland, definitely reserve that sacred space. And if you reserve before April 30th, you get an amazing $600 discount. Oh my goodness, how awesome is that? And we're also paying your airfare from the large island to the small island. So definitely take advantage of what we have to offer you now, because the time is now. And you are awesome. You are amazing. You are beautiful. And you are loved. Vanaka Vaka Levu for tuning in. And until we meet again, Morley.